Hey there, and welcome to The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, a game from Bethesda back when we actually made good finished games. So let's begin, and it's going to be quite a while until we're finished with this one. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero, there is no event. In the waning years of the third era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role they were about to play in that nation's history.
They have taken you from the Imperial city's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Many fall, but one remains.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Hi, Jib. Our name is Rag. Don't question it.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go.
Of course they will.
Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Okay, guard, but first off, let's hang out with our friend here.
You better do what they say.
Okay, I get the point. Sadly, our hands are currently bound due to being a prisoner, so we can't loot anything, which is a shame. We were probably a prisoner because we steal everything we touch.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
I'm very civilized. Let's go talk to this lady.
The sooner you leave, the sooner we can move on.
Okay, geez, I get the point. Look at all this bread we can't steal. Such a shame that our hands are bound. Hi, guard.
On deck, now, prisoner.
Sure thing. Let's take our first steps into Morrowind.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
Thanks, guard. Hi, guard.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
So here's our first decision of the game. We get to choose what race we want to be. This mostly won't matter unless you want to pick either the Argonian or the Khajiit. In this game, these two beast races are unable to wear any shoes or boots, or any full helm, which is a helmet that goes over the face. Due to that limitation, we're going to be playing something else. We could choose the Breton, the Dark Elf, the High Elf, the Imperial, the Nord, the Orc, the Redguard, or my personal favourite, the Wood Elves. I love these little guys because no one else seems to like them. So we're going to be picking a female Wood Elf called Rag. Again, don't question it. As for customization options in this game, there aren't that many, so we're going to go with this face. And as much as I love a ponytail, we're going to be picking a darker hair colour that fits her more. This one will do. So this is going to be our character. Each race has different skills and different specials. Our two specials are the ability to resist disease by 75%, incredibly useful at the start of the game and completely irrelevant at the end of the game, and Beast Tongue, where we can command a low-level creature for up to 10 minutes. I keep forgetting I even have that ability. Let's go.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Sure thing, guard. Sadly we can't jump yet, so we can't escape this area. And this gate here is locked. Hi, guard.
Head on in.
Okay.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
So we're going to be filling out the forms ourselves to create a custom class, but first off, let's listen to what he has to say.
On a clear day, you chance upon a strange animal, its leg trapped in a hunter's claw snare. Judging from the bleeding, it will not survive long. What do you do?
Let's put it to sleep.
One summer afternoon, your father gives you a choice of chores. What would you rather do?
Help dinner.
Your cousin has given you a very embarrassing nickname, and even worse, likes to call you it in front of your friends. You have asked him to stop, but he finds it very amusing to watch you blush. What do you do?
The only possible solution: beat him to death.
There is a lot of heated discussion at the local tavern over a group of people called telepaths. They've been hired by certain city-state kings. Rumor has it these telepaths read a person's mind and tell their lord whether a follower is telling the truth or not. You believe what?
Sounds useful.
Your mother sends you to the market with a list of goods to buy. After you finish, you find that by mistake a shopkeeper has given you too much money back in exchange for one of the items. What do you do?
Pocket the money.
While in a marketplace, you witness a thief cut a purse from a noble. Even as he does so, the noble notices and calls for the city guards. In his haste to get away, the thief drops the purse near you. Surprisingly, no one seems to notice the bag of coins at your feet. What do you do?
The only thing a self-respecting thief would do.
Your father sends you on a task which you loathe, cleaning the stables. On the way there, pitchfork in hand, you run into your friend from the homestead near your own. He offers to do it for you, in return for a future favor of his choosing. What do you do?
Sounds good.
Your mother asks you to help fix the stove. While you're working, a very hot pipe slips its moorings and falls towards her. What do you do?
The only thing we should do: push her out of the way.
While in town, the baker gives you a sweet roll. Delighted, you take it into an alley to enjoy, only to be intercepted by a gang of 3 other kids your age. The leader demands the sweet roll, or else he and his friends will beat you and take it. What do you do?
Distract them. It's worth noting I don't believe there is a single sweet roll in this entire game.
Entering town, you find that you are witness to a very well-dressed man running from a crowd. He screams to you for help. The crowd behind him seems very angry. What do you do?
None of our business. And he thinks we would make a good spell sword, which is roughly what we'll probably be doing anyway, but we want to pick our own class. So we are going to be the most originally named class in existence, Class. Our specialisation, we're going to go for Stealth, since that has a lot of useful abilities. We will have Luck as a bonus, since this is hard to level up. And then our other attribute can either be a bonus to Strength, so that we can carry more stuff, more maximum mana to cast more spells, more successfully spellcasting and avoiding magic, dodging attacks, moving quicker, more maximum HP, and by the way, it is not retroactive in this game, so if we have higher endurance early on, we have more maximum health later. We can make people like us more, or just have a bonus to everything. We are going to carry more stuff, so we're going to have a bonus to Strength. Weapon-wise, we are going to be using the Long Blade and Marksman. Personally, I believe that the most useful weapons in the game are long blades, and it's also good to have a long range option. Armour-wise, we're going to focus on light armour, because it's both light so we can loot more stuff, it's easy to get good light armour, and also it has very good defense if you have a high light armour skill. Next up, we want to increase our sneak, because low sneak skill means it's practically impossible to not get caught. And finally, we want to have block, because there's no dual wielding in this game, so if we use a one-handed sword, we are going to be using a shield alongside it. Our minor skills, we want a bonus to Athletics and Acrobatics, so that we can move quicker and jump higher, since we're going to be using those throughout the entire game. We also want a bonus to Speechcraft, so that we can talk our way through people's defences. And finally, we're going to have 2 magic options. Alteration is the most varied magic. We can use shields, we can levitate, we can breathe underwater, and we can unlock things. It's very useful. And finally, we're going to go for Illusion. Since this, we can paralyze opponents, and paralyzation is overpowered. We can also charm people and make ourselves go invisible, which is all useful. So this is going to be our character.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
So then, we could have a bonus to our maximum mana in this game, or Magicka as it's called. But we also get a weakness to Magicka. And it's worth noting that the one thing that's going to kill us above all else is going to be magic damage in this game, so that's a very bad thing to take. We could absorb some magic. We could have some quality improvements to our personality and endurance. We could have a really bad weakness to fire with barely any health per second to make up for it. That sounds like a really nasty one to have. We could have a once a day power that is incredibly powerful. We can paralyze a target for 60 seconds. That will get us out of a lot of problems. Here are some more abilities to help us either kill enemies or escape from damage. Some of them, like this shadow here, are practically worthless because we could very easily get a magic spell that can do the same thing. The speed is the steed rather is useful for a speed bonus if you're wanting to speedrun the game. And we can have a warrior to boost our attack. Personally, I'm going to go for the thief, because sanctuary will help us just plain dodge attacks and damage. So 10 points to that, I believe, corresponds to 10% chance to dodge attacks. I could be wrong, but either way, it's useful.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
So here's our last chance to change anything. We could go all the way back to our name, but for now, this looks good. It's worth noting we only have 35 hit points to start, so we can die very easily.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Sure thing. Hi, guard. He's an officer of the Imperial Legion. Let's ask him about that. And he tells us where other Imperial forts are located. We could also choose to join the Imperial Legion. He mentions we can do this if we go to Fort Darius in the village of Guinness. So we'll do that later. We could also try persuading him. I admire you, guard, but that just makes him mad because our speechcraft is terrible. Hi.
Take your papers off the table and go see Captain Gravius.
Okay, geez, I'll do it. So here's our papers. For release by Emperor Uriel Septim VII's decree to the district of Vronfell in the province of Morrowind. Us. Well, if he wants us to take things off his desk, let's also take this bottle.
You've stolen for the last time.
Thief!
What are you doing? We'll let your actions go for now, but once you release stuff like that, we'll get you arrested again. And he just took the bottle from us. And that
Continue through to the next building and talk to Sellus Gravius.
Sure thing. That bottle is now in this evidence chest. So anything that gets stolen from us, because clearly we're the rightful owner of it, is going to get put in here. However, we could also loot things while the game is paused.
You take me for a fool?
And then we could pick it up. And he treats it like it's our own thing. So as a result of that, we could also take this incredibly expensive platter.
You take me for a
Hi, guard.
fool?
And now we could take this with us. If I was playing this just on my own and not recording, I would steal absolutely everything there is in this room. But for the time being, we'll just continue. Bye bye. Now there is one more thing we want to do before we continue with the tutorial section. We have to take this ring from the barrel before we can continue, otherwise the game won't let us enter this door. And now, if we drop those items on the ground, so I probably should have just left them there to begin with, so they don't get taken back from us by this guy. We could take this key.
You've stolen for the last time.
And take the warehouse key with us. There are a lot of books in this game, so I won't be reading through them unless they're really important to the current quest we're doing. I might read through them at a later point, but that will just add about 50 hours onto the already long game. So let's actually continue with the tutorial and pick up this dagger. We're also going to pick up this lockpick. So you can equip weapons and lockpicks in this menu. Pull out the lockpick and unlock this small chest. We are very bad at lockpicking. And if we pull out the dagger, I can show you how combat works in this game. So you click the button to attack, you can hold it down for a power attack, and if we hold it down while we're moving forwards or backwards, we can thrust, and if we move sideways, we can slash. And that's pretty much combat in a nutshell. How combat works in this game is that it's all done by dice rolls, whether we can actually hit the enemy or the enemy can hit us. Again, since I am recording this, I'm just going to pick up things that can sell well. I won't pick up absolutely everything. Hriscar, don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scamp's claw by morning. So like this basket here, it's probably not really worth taking. We're going to do it anyway. But these bottles that are only worth 1, we'll just leave these. But we will take every single light source we can find, because then we can use those to light up dark areas. It's also a good idea to check every basket and sack in the game, as they contain ingredients like these. And ingredients can be used to make potions, so we're going to be making good use of that. I believe that the contents of the sacks and the baskets are all random. Even though for the most part this game isn't that random, all the unique items in this game are in stationary places and will never change. Now then, let's talk to this guy with our weapon drawn. You can see we have 40 persuasion at the moment, even though I'll talk to him before I explain that more. First, let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached me yesterday. I am Celis Gravius, but my background is not important. I'm here to welcome you to Morrowind. If we hide our weapon, then he likes us a little bit more, so it's not a good idea to talk to people with our weapons drawn. Tell us about your background. He just mentioned he's a knight errant, so he was correct, it's not important. Tell us about Morrowind. Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here, or why you were released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septimus VII himself, and I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you're a free man, but before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention. Well, tell us about our duties. This package came with news of your arrival. You were to take it to Chaos Casades in the town of Balmora. Go to the Southwall Corner Club and ask for Chaos Casades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal to your name. So he just gave us 87 gold. Not too bad for just getting out of prison. Tell us about Chaos Casades. He just mentions that he's in Balmora. Tell us about Balmora. Balmora is north of Seyda Neen. The road passes by Pelagade village and Fort Pelagade. Then I cross a deep ravine, go past Fort Moonmoth and turn west across the O'Day River, and then I arrive in Balmora. But he does mention we can also take the Silt Strider. It's fast, cheap and safe. What's the Silt Strider? Silt Striders is how we fast travel in this game. We can either take a teleport, we can take a Silt Strider, or we can take a boat. Those are the 3 normal ways of fast travelling. Do you have any extra information on joining the Imperial Legion? Nope, he just mentions go to Guinness. Tell us about his trade. He's a knight errant of the Order of Ebonheart, so we'll go to Ebonheart later and find out more about the Imperial Legion. And he's an Imperial emissary. He's proud to be an Imperial. Now tell us about the Legion. No, that's not what I meant. Oh yeah, the Empire, that's what I meant to click about. So he mentions that the Empire controls the Vronfeld district and the province of Morrowind, which is where we are, and it's been a part of the Empire for over 400 years. So they effectively conquered this land 400 years ago. So that's important to keep in mind, since that will affect how a lot of people interact with us being an outsider. Well, that's practically everything done, so see you later, mate. So we are now free to do what we want. So this is our character. We're currently just wearing a load of rags, which suits our name pretty well. Let's go talk to some people. Hi, you.
What is this about?
You're a fellow wood elf. He mentions that someone took his ring. He swears that one of the guards took it from him during their Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. Well, we have one and we don't really want it, so here, take it. He mentions we can go and talk to Arlyle at the trade house. Thank you. Tell us about some advice and secrets and rumours. So he mentions we're new in Morrowind, and he does mention the natives aren't very friendly, and they still resent the Empire, as we know the Empire conquered them about 400 years ago. So he mentions they look down on other races. They don't like Outlander Dunmer very much either, so even if we did pick to be one of the Dark Elves, they would still treat us badly because we're still Outlanders. If you aren't Dunmer and aren't native born, you're an Outlander, just like the rest of us. He talks about Daedra. He mentions that there are Daedric shrines and cults that worship the Daedra. They're bad people who summon bad Daedra, stay away from them. And he mentions that Daedra are nasty, and the people who worship them are even nastier. So that's one of the main types of enemies we're going to be fighting are the Daedra as we explore this land. I heard that there was some trouble up at Fort Moonmoth. Never heard of it? It's an island out called Solstheim, north of Rorenfell. Well, tell us about Solstheim. I've heard of the place. I believe there's an Imperial fort up there. Fort Moonmoth or something. If you want to go there, check around cool. Well, let's talk to an Imperial guard about that. Hi, you.
What's this about?
It's about Fort Moonmoth. Oh, he doesn't want to talk about that, but he does talk about how a local tax collector has gone missing. Tell us about Solstheim. It's a terrible place. Thank you. If we spoke to the guard first, then he would have told us that someone he knew got transferred there, and it's not a very nice place to be transferred to. By the way, you may have noticed we're walking slowly. We're not walking, we're running. This is walking speed. Movement speed in this game is terrible.
Can we hurry this along?
Sure, what do you want to talk about? A little advice? You look like you can take care of yourself. So there are some smugglers in a cave nearby. It's right next to the Silt Strider. Perhaps we should go and take a look at it. We move very slowly, but I believe before we should go and fight anything, we should first get ourselves equipped with some gear.
My patience is limited.
So is mine. I believe this place is currently locked, but we have the key to it. People don't really complain about trespassing in this game as much as they do in the sequels, so we are able to pretty much go anywhere we want. And how stealing works in this game is that as long as if no one can see us, they don't mind if we take something because they don't notice it. Look at all these sacks, full of ingredients for us to use. So then I should probably explain what we're going to do in this part. This part, we're just going to get ourselves settled. We're going to get some decent equipment to start the game with, and get ourselves a nice little home. Here is a shield, only an armor rating of 2, and it is heavy armor, which we are not good at using, but we may as well equip it anyway, because it's better than nothing. Here is moon sugar. Moon sugar is illegal, so a lot of traders will not accept trading in it. Those are a lot of iron arrows. We're going to take all of those. Let's equip them. Here's some skooma, that is also illegal. Here are some pillows. Let's collect pillows. Actually, let's not, because they are very heavy. That seems to be everything we can do here. Just going to quick save the game, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. Here is a shipping log. We can't really do anything with this at the moment, so we may as well leave it here. It's not very useful to us. There's a sword. It's a long blade, which we are skilled at using, so we will equip that instead. As you can see, the numbers next to chop, slash and thrust are higher with this compared to the other, since we are more skilled at using it. And here is some armour. May as well equip it. As you can see though, we currently have over our carry weight. And we cannot move because we are over encumbered. We are just stuck to the spot. So we need to lose some weight. We'll start by losing that dagger. And let's look for the really heavy things that we don't really want to carry around. This stuff does sell well, but it's also very heavy. So we probably should have gone to the trading house first, and then we could have sold that instead of just dropping it. We don't really need a second long blade. Here is a spear, but we're not good at using spears at all, so we're not going to take that. Ah, light armor. That's even better than heavy armor for us. Let's see, which do we have? Do we have braces? We have a gauntlet here. So this is the left gauntlet, armor rating of 2. And this left bracer has an armor rating of 7. So even though it is light armor, since we're more skilled at using it, it's better for us. So let's equip better armor. A halberd and a spear. Can't really use either of those. Lots of ingredients. Nothing in there. And here there's more heavy armor. We can't really afford to carry any of that at the moment with our current weight. So this looks quite good for now. We have a current weight of 200, but we can still move because we haven't gone over 200. Hi, guard.
Let's hear it.
So we look really bad at the moment because we're just carrying random armor pieces on our body that just does not fit at all. Hi. She can give us some training, so if we have more money, we would be able to increase our skills with her. It's not a very good idea at the moment, though. Let's ask her just in case she says anything important here. Right, so she mentions how to find Daedric shrines. She mentions the names of them, but it's more obvious to find with how they look, because they have spires and the like. She also mentioned about this tax collector. We should probably go and find him. There's a big bunch of money here, but she's in the way, so we can't really take it. So we found our way back outside. We're actually at the entrance, but the boat is now gone. Oh, and we got stuck on the ropes. Yeah, that happens sometimes, and we took damage. You see, our jumping ability is incredibly poor at the moment. We can't even go over these ropes, so we're going to have to escape via here. So one of the goals I have at the start of this is also going to be to increase our movement speed. We should be able to get that done relatively soon, because with increased movement speed, everything becomes better. Because as you can see at the moment, we're incredibly slow. Let's go to the trade house and sell some things. I think our weight probably is also slowing us down, because it does seem like we're slower than before. Popular scrolls and popular potions. So he mentions to have cure common disease and cure blight potions. Those are useful to take, but we can't really afford them right now. He mentions practicing skills, and to say to practice on creatures and outlaws and anyone who attacks us first. Oh yes, of course, we can't trade because we carry moon sugar. This guy doesn't want any of that. So we're going to drop that on the floor, as well as skooma. And then we can trade with him. So we are just going to sell everything we are carrying that we can't use. We don't have to worry that this stuff is stolen. As long as if it's not stolen from this guy, if it's any of his possessions, then he won't care. Let's also sell this limeware platter, which sells for a lot. But as you can see, we're only going to get 410 gold, despite that being a value of 650. So that adds into our bartering skill, which is very low, so it won't make that much money. We will keep some torches with us, I believe. These two torches here are at full strength, so we'll keep those two. and we'll sell everything else. At the moment, rather than making potions, we'll just sell some of the ingredients that we have that's heavy, like this hound meat and the hide. We can sell up to 800 gold worth of stuff, so we may as well do that. That went a little bit over. So we'll buy back about 5 of those. And now we can try and haggle him up a little bit to his maximum gold. And that worked.
Please, feel free to talk at your leisure.
Thank you.
The sun and moons transform
I'm
day
waiting.
to night, but what transforms the mind?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What was that?
You like to dance close to the fire, don't you?
I love dancing close to the fire. Let's talk to him about recovering some gold from Hargoth's hiding place. Sure, we'll do it. So during the night we will be able to do this quest. There's no time limit to it and it's not really worth doing, so we'll just say we'll do it and not do it.
Welcome.
Hi, guard.
Go ahead, stranger. Any time now.
Don't whistle at me. Let's go up to the Silt Strider, since we heard that there was a gang of smugglers hiding out nearby. So we are going to go and take care of these smugglers. Or at least try to, and probably die, since we are still very badly equipped. Here's the cave. Our health is also a little bit low because we took some falling damage. Let's loot from some of these mushrooms. There are a lot of ingredients all over the world. Let's try and sneak up on her. Even though our sneaking skill is very bad. Yep, that did not work at all. So here's our first taste at combat. As you can see, it's all based on dice rolls, so I'm just going to spam click there and hope that it works. We are very close to death, so let's hope that we can kill her first. Just need one more hit. There we go. Our first kill of the game. And she is also wearing some light armour. But we are currently wearing some fur boots. And these are heavier, so we won't really worry about them. We will, however, put on her shirt because it looks nicer. And we'll take the slave key. We can't rest here because enemies are nearby. Let's try and rest at the entrance. Nope, let's leave the area. Whoa, I did not expect that. Okay, we are being attacked by an assassin, which is something that I was not expecting at this point in the game because we haven't even done anything yet. Yep, we died due to that. So that's our first death of the game. I do want to fight assassins, but we aren't equipped to do it yet, so let's hope we don't get interrupted again.
You're beaten.
I think we will need to run to safety.
And I will end your pain.
Let's try and sleep again and hope we don't get attacked by an assassin. Okay, we just got attacked by a Kwama instead. That's much nicer. So there is a chance that we get attacked by an assassin when we go to sleep, but we haven't done anything to annoy anyone yet, so I wasn't expecting it. Okay, we have more health now, so we might be able to take him on. But we are going to kite him to a town and hope some guards help us. So the reason why I want to actually attack assassins at this point in the game is because their armour is light armour, and it's incredibly good. Hi guard, do you want to come and help me? Thank you, guard. No, you attacked the wrong thing, guard. Attack the assassin. Guard, please attack the assassin. Not the rat. Okay, apparently the guards didn't care that we were being attacked by an assassin. Let's just go in with our current health then. And try and take on this other person. Let's sneak and hope that we can sneak up on them and score an extra hit. Where are they? They're down there. Sadly, he's looking right towards us, so this probably won't work. We can also notice that he's a spellcaster, so we want to avoid those spells if possible. If we do manage to sneak up on him, then we can score a critical hit. This is not going to work. Yeah. As you can see, magic kills us very quickly in this game. So it's probably a good idea to come back here later. Even though what we could do would be to try and drain him of his mana. And make him attack us but keep missing so that he then runs at us with his weapon. As you can see, he aggroed on us a lot sooner this time. Are you going to cast any spells? There you go. We'll make him miss until he draws his weapon. Which could be a while at this rate, he seems to have a lot of mana. There we go, and now he runs at us. So mana in this game, or magicka, does not regenerate automatically. You have to go to sleep or use a potion. So there's no chance that he's now going to draw his magic again, since he's now drained of it. So that went much better. He has a nice robe, let's take it. I believe that's everyone in this cave. No, there's still one more. So these are slaves.
Why do you approach?
Hi guys, as you can see, in this game, the beast races, the Argonians and the Khajiits, tend to be slaves on Morrowind, so let's be nice and free them. Go free, unlock the slaves braces with the key we have. So as you can see, these braces have a constant effect to drain magic, so these slaves are completely powerless. They can't cast any magic spells. We are going to take these with us despite them giving us no money to sell them. Well, they give us 5 gold, but we're going to just keep these with us as a sign of freeing slaves. So when we get a home, we're going to just put these in the home, and they will work as trophies for us. Let's just autosave just in case the game crashes, because it does like to do that. So as you can see, we can wear a robe on top of our other equipment. We are currently wearing some pants and a shirt, as well as armour, and as well as a robe. You can wear a lot of pieces of equipment in this game. Hello. Looks like she has throwing weapons. So let's get closer. Yeah, at the very start of the game, when your skills are bad, it is very hard to hit the enemies. When we level up our long blade skill enough times, then we will counter that quite nicely. So she has a lockpick, always useful, a probe, a cloth left bracer, which is light armour, but we already have a left bracer. Let's take these throwing stars from her, we may as well have that as a weapon. And some common shoes. No, actually we're wearing boots. We can't wear shoes and boots. That isn't a possibility, sadly. So these throwing stars, as you would expect, we just for him like that. There's a steel battle axe in here. It weighs a lot, but it does sell well. Sadly, it weighs too much to really carry with us. Maybe if we drop all these things, we could carry it. And over here is the Smuggler's loot. Lots of moon sugar. Rings are quite good loot to take because they barely weigh anything. We'll also put one on just for the sake of it, as well as this belt. So I guess we will be dropping that weapon after all. It's too heavy for us. There's another torch here. Skoomer. So that's all the loot over this side, unless there's anything sneaky back here. We can rest here, but before we do that, the assassins seem to like attacking us quite a lot often. Okay, good. There's no assassins today. Looks like we're going to be swimming here. Maybe I'll put our weapon away. I don't think we're going to be fighting anything. A good way to find out if enemies are nearby is to press the rest key to try and go to sleep, since you aren't allowed to sleep when there are enemies nearby. What's this down here? Rising Force Potion and a scroll. Is there anything else down here? Does not look like it. It's worth noting that even though I do know a lot of this game, I haven't memorised what's in every single dungeon and stuff like that, so I could miss things, and I could find things that are interesting. Oh, there's a rat. Hi, rat. Excuse me, rat, can I actually attack you? At this point, I'm just going to spam the normal click, just since there's such a low chance of hitting things, I'd rather try and get more successful hits rather than more powerful hits. And that's a dead rat. So, when we have enemies like this, like random monsters, we could dispose of a corpse, which gets rid of a corpse off a level, in case the computer can't handle it or something like that. And it also gives us all the loot automatically from it. You don't tend to be allowed to dispose of humanoid corpses. That's a leather left pauldron. I don't know if we have that yet. We didn't. So now we have some more armour. We have a current armour rating of 3, which is terrible, but it's better than nothing. Yes, we are going to pick up every single gold coin we find, up until the end of the game. As long as we're in a dungeon and not property of someone, we are going to pick up every piece of gold. Even when we have millions of gold. Seven armor rating as opposed to 2, since that was some heavy armor. So we could still rest here, so clearly there are no enemies nearby. It's always a good idea to check beneath any bridges and the like in case there's any loot down there. And we've made our way back over here. So that's where we killed the mage. Up here is where the slaves were. I forgot to loot all the torches. So yes, we can use torches to light the way, and they do expire after a while. It goes into the shield slot, so we can still use a weapon while we have a torch out. We just can't block any attacks. Oh, and here's another slave key. This is a very useful scroll to have. This will allow us to open a lock of our choice. keep that with us for sure. And here's a short blade. Sadly, we're not very skilled at short blades, so we won't be taking that. Another open lock spell. Armor rating of 15 for this light armor. That's much better than the other one, which is only 7. So we are getting some good upgrades already. And here's our first potion that will restore agility to us. There are enemies that can drain our agility, so it might be good to keep that one handy. And now let's go down here. Since we just jumped into water while our torch was out, we did just waste it. Fishing pole. Sounds good. Name is corpse for his bone meal. Is there anything else in here? There is a chest. Some loot is better than no loot. It looks like we can also get up here. Let's see if there's anything there. Nope, it was just the chest. So this is our first dungeon cleared. It's a very short one. Obviously it's a part of the tutorial pretty much, since it is right out of the gate. And it's next to the Silk Strider, which you're going to be taking to Balmora. And of course it also has the 3 enemies in it. It has a melee enemy, a caster who is going to murder you if it's your first time playing the game, and the ranged person. So our character is already looking pretty good. Look at all that rubbish we're wearing. So one of the main goals at the moment will be to get ourselves powerful enough to take on one of those assassins that attacks us. Because the assassins wear Dark Brotherhood armor, which is some of the best armor in the game for light armor. Let's see, let's drop something. We'll drop that. And now we can move again. So now we're going to make our way to Balmora, which is where we've been told to go. Oh yes, we haven't actually looked at our directions yet. So we did get given directions to Chaos Casades. You've been given these directions and a package of documents. Do not show them to anyone. Do not attempt to read the documents in the package. The package has been sealed and your tampering will be discovered and punished. Well, that sounds like we should read the package. Sadly it's all in code so we can't read it. Oh well. Let's give a quick save. And now let's take the Silk Strider.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
Thank you. Tell us about our destinations. You can take us to Seyda, Neen, to Balmora, to Vivek, to Guinness, and to Saran. Is there anyone in particular? She just mentions some useful people nearby, so let's travel. So it does cost money, and we can go to any of these areas. At the moment, we should only really go to Balmora.
Why walk when you can run?
I know, right? Here we are in Balmora. Balmora is sort of the best location to make your home in this game. We should probably go inside while it's raining, since the thunder is going to keep cutting out anything I try to say. So it's worth noting you can steal anything you want from chests and stuff. At least I'm pretty sure you can. While you're outside. Yeah, no one cares if you take things while you're outside. None of that is seen as property. So our first stop is going to be this trader here. Oh, our athletic skill just went up.
No words for you.
Hello,
There
Kashi.
is much to learn.
I know, right? So this guy is a trader. He has famous Daedric weapons. That sounds useful. Let's barter with him. You may have noticed we're allowed to barter with him despite carrying moon sugar. Khajiit traders usually do not care if you have any illegal substances because they love it. So he is a good person to sell moon sugar to. Sadly though, we don't get that much money from it at the moment because we're really bad at being at our barter. So let's try and butter him up a bit with some bribes. Oh, that worked. That also worked. That didn't work. That worked a lot. Let's try and get him to a nice 60-ish%. There we go, that should work. So we'll get a little bit of extra money from these moon sugars now. So we may as well sell them. So while we're selling more gold than he actually has, we can buy some things from him to sweeten the deal for ourselves. And he has some light armor, so we may as well make use of that. We are currently wearing some nasty heavy armor legs, so let's buy a piece of light armor legs. We have 15 armor rating gloves, but only the left hand. So let's buy some right hand gloves. Let's buy some fur helms. That was light, right? Yes, it was. 10 armor rating or 7. Well, let's go for the better one, even though it looks kind of ugly. Let's also get a shield. Our current shield is heavy, so let's get a light shield. What was I buying again? Let's see, a piece of chest armor, if he has any, would be great. But he doesn't. So I believe that's all the armor we can really get from him. Let's see if there's anything else we want. There isn't much, so we're going to buy back some of that moon sugar now. And we'll sell it to him another day when he has more money. Thank you. Of course, now we're over encumbered.
Sweet moon sugar.
So let's equip some new equipment. That should do for now. So now I have an armor rating of 6. We should probably sell some of this heavy stuff to him and buy some lighter stuff in comparison. Or we could just drop it on the floor, since he won't ever pick it up. The game isn't advanced for that yet. There we go. So the next time we come to sell to him, we can just pick those things up. We're also going to drop the rest of our moon sugar here, and the skooma, since we'll sell it to him. We'll just trust that that drug addict in there won't take any of the drugs we just put right in front of him. And another trader we want to talk to is this lady here. This lady will buy most of our stuff from us. Let's try and persuade her a little bit. Yeah, 61% seems good for now. We could save scum to get it to 100, but I'm not going to bother. So we'll give her these throwing stars. We'd prefer to use a bow with all these arrows we've got. And we'll just look to sell to her anything that's kind of heavy that we're still carrying around. That's pretty much everything. I'd rather keep all the ingredients for later, so we can use them to brew potions. Oh, our offer got refused. Even 1 extra gold is refused. You may have also noticed. Is there
something you need?
She just equipped that piece of armor that we just gave her. So NPCs are like traders. If you give them a better piece of equipment, they will equip it themselves. Even though she will never fight anyone. So what I was going to say in there was that you may have noticed the disposition, like how much she liked us, went down from 61 to 60 after I failed to barter with her. If you do too many failed bartering attempts, then the NPCs will not like you very much. Hi.
Go ahead, stranger.
Tell us about Balmora. It's a council seat of Great House Halu. At least that's how I think you're supposed to pronounce it. So we're going to be learning more about that house later, and we're actually going to try and join it as well, since we need to start making friends. Oh. The Magistrate of Balmora is on the take. Thieves, thugs and murderers are getting ridiculous sentences or paying a drake and walking free. That sounds interesting. Let's read more about that. They'll never get Atreus. He's got fat cats and family back in the city to cover him. The Legion champion, Larius Varro, over at Fort Moonmoth's Legion Fort, he has sworn an oath to stop corruption. So maybe we should go there and get a quest to help stop the corruption. I heard the Ordinators burned out a camp of the Nerevarine cult worshippers out at Ghost Fence. The temple seems to be going to a lot of trouble to exterminate a bunch of simple Ashlanders. They can't help but being ignorant. They're just primitive savages, and nobody takes the return of Lord Nerevar stuff seriously. Crazy rag-robed prophets, not much threat there. Well, we're wearing a load of rags, maybe we should go and talk to them. So this guy here just has some generic stuff, but the main reason I came here is because this guy's house is going to be ours now. We're not going to kill him or anything like that to take it, we're just going to go up here, and it's ours, because he won't ever come up here, so this is where we're just going to drop all the stuff we're not really going to use. Let's try and pick this lock. Lock's too complex. Let's try and pick this one. There we go. Thunderfall. That's rather an impressive sale value on that. We'll equip it for the time being, because it's nice and fancy. May as well loot all that stuff. So, in this chest, we're just going to go and put all of our ingredients. So when we come to do potions, we'll just get them from this chest. So as long as if we never trade to the person downstairs, he won't complain about stolen things from his house. As I believe if you put stuff in his chest, it becomes his. At least that's how it works in Oblivion anyway. I'm not sure if it works that way here. Let's scroll over to make it easier. There you go, so that's all of the good stuff we needed. Let's also put the skull in there for the hell of it. So while we're here, we're also going to go and put the books down. We'll just put them all here. I'll put them in this thing once we're able to open it. We could use one of our 2 unlock things, but that's kind of a waste. And let's put our braces over here. Oh no, let's pick up one at a time because we want to show off how many slaves we freed. There we go. So he will never come up here, he will spend his entire life down there. So this is just our temporary home until we get an actual one. Now then, we've been given a few tasks to complete. First off, it's going to the South Wall Corner Club, which is on the east side of the river. Also, while we're not fighting anything, we're going to unequip our helmets, since it looks ugly. This guy here is an Ordinator. Ordinators are guards. Well, actually no, he's not an Ordinator rather, he's just a Harley guard. Ordinators are in river. My bad. All it takes is a little persuasion, and a flask of Telvanni Bugmust is what you need. It makes even an orc charming. Sounds good.
Speak, traveller.
So then, I haven't actually shown much about this screen. This is the world map. So you can see down there, that's where Seyda was. This is where Pelagade was, we got told about that. Back to where Moonmoth is, since we've got a quest to go there now. And here's Balmora. This island here is Solstein, which is a part of one of the 2 expansions. And this is the rest of the island. So Morrowind is a large island, and this is practically the majority of the game. There is one other area that we can't go to yet, which isn't visible there. And in this local map, we're able to see everywhere. Council Club, that's not the corner club. So we can see where the traders are. These 2 traders here, that's where our home is. We're also able to, I forgot how you do it. Maybe you hold shift. And somehow you can make a mark on the map, but I forgot how you do it. Here is the South Wall Corner Club. Let's go in. Hi. Can you tell us about Chaos Casades? That old Sugartooth? I'm not sure where he's living now, but ask Bacoli Kloskus. He's the owner.
Hello. I don't know if I can help you, but I'll try.
Thank you.
There is much to learn.
You seem rather sneaky. You're looking for me? Do you want to join the Thieves Guild? Now that sounds enticing. You look like you might have some skill. You want to join? Or maybe want to know what we're all about? Yeah. Let's hear the rules first. Just remember that there is honour among thieves. Do not steal from a brother thief. Everyone else is a mark. Do not attack a brother thief. Do what you will to everyone else. If you have a price on your head, we have ways of taking care of it. If you break these rules, you must speak with one of the masterminds here in Varnfell to regain your good standing. Think you can handle it? Of course I can. You are now a toad in the Thieves Guild. Welcome, Sister Rag. Talk to me when you want some jobs done. Or do I have some advancement? Can I advance yet? Nope, we need to do more jobs first. A good friend of Habasi wants a diamond. Narleria? I think that's how you say that. The alchemist has diamonds. Tell us about diamonds. A friend wants a diamond from Habasi. Agalia of Whitehaven has diamonds. Well, tell us about that. Her shop is on the northwest side of town. Go across the river, turn right and keep going. Sounds good. Now where's the owner? You're not the owner?
My prices are the best in town.
Its scent is unfamiliar.
Let's hear it.
Oh well, I think one of those is the owner and I just forgot what the name was. So I'll just go to where he lives instead, because it's probably easier that way.
Well, what is this about?
Is anyone upstairs? Oh, this is the guy, isn't it? Let's ask him about Chaos Casades. He rents a little bed and breakfast just up the hill on the north edge of town. Go out the front door, not the upper door, and then go right. Sounds good. We're going to go out the upper door.
Yes?
3 gold. Let's see if we can manage to jump this crate. We can! Hooray! Our incredibly low jump skill finally did something. That's not his house. I think it's over this side. Hello. That's not his house. This is his house. Chaos Casades is his house. Well, hopefully he won't notice that we just tried to read his code book.
What's this about?
Hi. I'm Chaos Casades. What do you mean you were told to report to me? What are you talking about? I'm just an old man with a schooner problem. You sound like my kind of friend. So, you say your name is Rag and you've been told to report to me and deliver a package. Perhaps you let me look at it. Of course. Yes, very interesting. So it says here, the Emperor wants me to make you a novice in the blades. And he means that you'll be following my orders. You ready for them? Of course. He didn't seem to care that we tried to read it. Good. Welcome to the service, Novice Rag. Now you belong to the Blades. We're the Emperor's eyes and ears in the provinces. You can use my bed if you need to rest, but leave my personal stuff alone unless I say otherwise. If you like, you can improve your modest skills with our Blades trainers now. Or if you're in a hurry, I can give you the orders right away. But don't forget to visit the Blades trainers. So who are they? So he just tells us about all these different people that we could get some training from, but we don't really have the money for that at the moment. We'll still talk about all of them anyway, just because then he will tell us where to find them all. Okay, and now let's get some orders. Tell us about the temples. The Tribunal Temple is the native religion. They worship 3 god kings, Almalexia, Sophasil, and Vivek, who are known together as the Tribunal. We usually just call it the Temple. They're narrow-minded and superstitious, but I find a lot to admire, particularly their concern for the poor. They accept Outlanders as members, but few Outlanders join except for the services. I think that means that they only join for the services, and I just read it wrong. So talk to this person in Balmora Temple if we're looking about joining, so we'll do that later. So one of the important things here is that we've heard of Vivek before. Vivek was a location that we could have gone to using the Silt Strider, and he is apparently also one of the God Kings. These 3 are very important to the story, so we'll be learning more about those later. For now, let's talk about the Blades. We're spies, we're the Emperor's hidden eyes and ears in the provinces. We watch the Emperor's enemies, we look for opportunities, we make reports, and, when the Emperor commands, we obey. But we're only one of many guilds and factions in Morrowind. You should know little about them. So you should know a little about the Morrowind politics before you get involved with the other groups. Well, tell us about the other groups. He has a lot to talk about, and this is all important stuff, so we should talk about it. So, the Imperial cult, tell us about that. The Imperial cult worships the 9 divines. These are the ones that are more prominent in Skyrim, if you've played that one. So, let's see, we can go and talk to someone at Fort Moonmoth if we're looking to join. Which is over at Balmora, sounds good. Or southeast of Balmora, rather. So then, he does mention here, I'm just going to read through it quickly, just see if there's anything to point out. No, it's just pretty much saying that the Imperial cult is like the main religion of the Imperials, who are the people who took over Morrowind. Now let's talk about the Imperial Legion. We already know about joining that in Guinness. Talk about the Fighters Guild. It's a professional organisation chartered by the Emperor to regulate the hiring and training of mercenaries. Trainings, goods and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. You'll have to start with your services with Adris Fire Eye in the Balmora Guild. So we'll go talk to her later like we did with the Thieves Guild. Next up, let's talk about the Mages Guild, which is one of the most useful guilds in the game. It's a guild for arcane arts, and it's where you go to find wizards for hire, and again he mentions trainings and goods will be cheaper, so we can go and join that as well in Balmora. We've already joined the Thieves Guild, but tell us about it anyway. In the rest of the Empire, the Thieves Guild is a more or less organised group of local criminal syndicates governing illegal trade in their communities. Here in Morrowind, the Thieves Guild is the newcomer. The established local crime lords are called the Kamana Tong. The Thieves Guild don't advertise, partially to avoid the law, and partially to avoid the Kamana Tong, who have sworn to destroy the Thieves Guild. Sounds interesting. Let's ask about the Kamana Tong. The Kamana Tong is Morrowind's native criminal syndicate. They're tough and ruthless and have a connection in higher ranks of House Halu. We've already heard about those. The Kamana Tong compete directly with the Thieves Guild for control of illegal trade and will not tolerate competition. So they are likely the people who are going to be sending these assassins after us, but for some reason people decided to send an assassin when we first arrived. I was not expecting that. Let's see, what's next? Let's talk about the houses. What's House Horodran like? House Horodran is one of the 3 Dunmer Great houses on Rauenfell. A very serious and honourable bunch. It's difficult for an outlander to join and rise in their ranks, but the great houses are where the power lies in Morrowind. So talk to their councillors if we want to become a member. Let's talk about the other ones. The House Halu, that's the one we are looking to join because they're the ones who are more open to outlanders like ourselves. It's one of the 3 Dunmer Great houses. They're loyal supporters of the Empire, open-minded in religion and culture, and greedy and ambitious. They're the best Imperial tradition. Oh sorry, they're greedy and ambitious in the best Imperial tradition, of course. It's difficult to rise in their ranks as an outlander, blah blah blah. Let's talk about House Telvanni. These are the most interesting ones. They're nobles and thousand-year-old traditions. I've been reading for a while now, so it's starting to become a little bit harder. Telvanni is supposed to hate politics and foreigners and just about everything else, but the Vornfell Telvanni are apparently more ambitious and adventurous than most. So those are going to be the most elusive one to try and join. Let's see, the temple, we've already spoken about that, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it looks like we've asked too many things, so let's ask this again. Let's see, the Morag Tong. The Morag Tong is a guild of executioners and assassins. Completely legal and guided by a strict code of conduct, it's an ancient Dunmer society, steeped in tradition, but I know and respect a few Westerners who belong to the Morag Tong. They are nothing like the Dark Brotherhood. I have no idea how to join them. Just in case you're wondering, the assassins that got sent after us are actually the Dark Brotherhood, not the Morag Tong. The Morag Tong have not been told to kill us, at least yet anyway. Is there anything else we haven't mentioned yet? We've talked about the Commander Tong, and finally the Ashlanders. I don't know much about the Ashlanders. Most people say they are murderous savages, but most people are idiots. I like this guy. I know they hate the settled Dunmer cousins almost as much as they hate Westerners. They must be tough to live. They must be tough to live in the Ashlands. I don't think Outlanders can become members of their tribes. I don't know why anyone would want to do so. So the Ashlanders sound like they really hate us foreigners. I think we should go and talk to them. But first off, let's finally go back and ask him about our duties. First off, a little advice. How do you judge a job's difficulty? Consider these three things: location, opposition, and payoff. Long walks in the wilderness are usually tougher than local or town tasks. Tough opponents make tough jobs. Daedra, vampires, rogue Telvanni, you'll learn which ones to look out for. And finally, if the reward offered is large, the dangers will be large too. That's always a good thing to keep in mind. Let's ask him about... what are the rules of the Blades? The rules of the Blades are simple. Follow orders. My orders. Don't steal from the Blades. Don't attack anyone from the Blades. Simple rules. Follow them or you'll be expelled. And once you're expelled, you're out forever. Well, give us orders then finally. I've been talking for long enough. First thing, Pilgrim, you're new and you'll look it. Here's 200 drakes. Go get yourself a decent weapon or armor, or a spell. And second thing, you need a cover identity. Around here, freelance adventurer is a common profession. Sign on with the Fighters Guild, or the Mages Guild, or the Imperial Court, or the Imperial Legion. Advance in the ranks, gain skill and experience, or go out on your own and look for freelance work. Then, when you're ready, come back and you'll have orders for me. This is probably my favourite mission I've ever been given in any of these type of games. There's like the guy who is on the main quest line of the entire game just says, here's some money, go do some stuff, then come back to me. I like it. What do you have to say about freelance work? You can always wander around and ask for work, hunt monsters and sell their hides, collect ingredients for alchemists, prey on bandits and smugglers, search ruins for loot. All you need are better skills and conditioning and knowledge of Morrowind. And spend what you earn on equipment and training, then come back a little less wet behind the ears, and I won't have to worry so much about when I send you on a mission. Thanks, Chaos Casades, you're the best.
Where did I put that?
I have no idea. Also, yes, there is a skooma pipe under his bed. We're not allowed to take anything from him yet, but we can sleep in his bed like we said we could. So for the time being, we could just go right back to him right now and ask for orders, but we should do what he said and sign up with some more groups. But before we do anything, there is one item I want to grab. As there is a very useful item that we can get in Balmora, if you know where to look for it. And since we are specialised in Longblade, it's a very good weapon for us. But we need to be a little bit skillful with how we grab it. That's not the entrance. We are looking for a way to get into that tower above us. Also, I should probably do a quick save there. Oh, that's the house again. Maybe it is just this house. I thought it counted as a tower.
Say
Hi.
your business.
My business is none of your concern, even though I am invading your house. See, do you have any rumours, advice, or secrets for me? Nope, it's the same thing we've seen before. Okay, it's not this house I'm looking for, it's another one. My mistake. There are a few towers in this area, so I got mixed up with them. I think we want that tower over there. You know, it will be incredible if I actually just completely got this wrong and the item isn't what I think it is. Here we go, the Eastern Guard Tower. I'm pretty sure this is where it is. There's a lot of equipment here that we could steal, but there's one item especially that we want.
What do you want?
Hi. And that is this item up here. The Sword of White Woe. That is a very good sword for us, and it will help us kill an assassin if he attacks us again. The problem is, there's a guard right here. So we need to find a way to try and steal this while he can't see us. So how stealing it works in this game again is, as long as if they can't see us,
someone watching me,
which means their head is out of the way, we should be able to steal it from them. Can we loot it from here? I think we can. We should be able to take this. There we go. And we now have a very good sword. That is a lot better than our previous sword, and it's enchanted. It's also incredibly expensive, so we could sell this for a lot of money. But instead, we're going to be using it. So, magic items in this game have this nice glowing effect to them, which I've always liked. Hi. Don't mind me, I'm just wielding this weapon that I shouldn't have. Let's see if there's anything inside the closet as well while we're here. Ooh, there's a lot of money and other good stuff. Including some light armor. This armor sells nicely, so let's take it. There we go. And that's some extra money for us to pocket and take home. Let's see if any of this stuff sells nicely. Not really, but there is a bow here. We should try and steal that bow, because we don't have a bow yet. There we go. So there's one of every type of weapon here, I believe, for like whichever type of weapon you want, so you can grab something useful to start the game with. Now, I haven't done this in ages, but I'm pondering whether there's how do you set quick menus again? I forgot if you can even do that. I'll check between parts whether I'm able to assign hotkeys for my weapons. There's nothing else here that's really worth stealing. So for the time being, what we could do with is trying to get ourselves in a fight with an assassin again. Because right now, we could kill that assassin with this new weapon. And we will be able to loot his equipment. And he has the second best set of armor for us in the game. By the way, the assassins are a part of the first expansion of the game, I believe. I don't think they can attack you in the base game. And we are only allowed to actually access the expansion once we actually get attacked by an assassin. So that's why they attack you early on in the game. I just didn't expect it to be directly at the start of the game. Hi there.
Make it quick, Outlander.
Let's join the Mages Guild. You look like the sort we could use in the Mages Guild because you're wearing some sort of robe. So what is the Mage's Oath? Perform any duties assigned to you by masters of a guild. Learn from them and grow strong. Always share your knowledge freely with other guild members. Never strike or steal from another guild member. Oh, I like stealing. Okay, let's join. You are now a member of the Mages Guild. That was nice and easy. Can we advance yet? Nope. How about our requirements? The Guild of Mages only accepts candidates of keen intelligence and dominant will. Candidates must exhibit mastery in the great schools of magic. Destruction, alteration, illusion, and mysticism. Candidates must also display practical knowledge of enchantments and alchemical processes. You don't have any duties. Okay. Talk to Azura for duties. Let's go do that. We're also allowed to now take anything we want from this supply chest right here. Cure common disease could be good. Actually, I'm just going to save it just before I take it, just in case if I got that wrong. Let's take one of these with us. Just in case we do get attacked by anything with a disease. We could also use these potions to restore magic. Sounds good. Like I said before, you are completely unable to passively restore magic in this game unless you enchant the ability to do so. So having those potions will basically just stop us from having to constantly rest. You are not the person I want. You are not the person I want. You are not the person I want. This lady here will give us the ability to travel to different mages guilds, which is one of the best travels in the game.
Oh, Outlander, did you want something?
Hi.
It suffers wounds.
And here is the person we want, this Khajiit. Yes, Azura has duties for you. Before Azura can be a journeyman in the Mages Guild, Azura must study local mushrooms. These samples of Luminous Rosala, Violet Copious, Bungler's Bane, and Hypia's Fascia. Well, tell us about all the different types. Because I like to just have more information. Do you want the local brews? So she sells a lot of stuff. And help in a fight? She also sells potions to restore health. That sounds useful. We should buy some of those. Where is Potion of Healing? I'm pretty sure I just went straight past it. Well, it will be there somewhere, and I've just completely missed it. One moment. It's not Fortify Health, which I've already passed. Oh, I can't find it. Oh well. Well, keep pressing the wrong key. I don't want to attack anyone here. While we're here, we could buy some spells. We have a lot of money now. We could buy the ability to bind a longbow. That's a nice cheap spell. And a bound longbow is a lot better than our current bow. Soul Trap, we need that because that will be useful to keep our enchantments running later. I'll explain everything about these as I go on. She has resisting diseases, but she doesn't have a cure disease. The Mages Guild is very useful to buy spells from. They tend to have a lot of good stuff. So we could have like damaging spells. Paralyze on touch, that is useful. We're going to take that. We're going to buy more of these later, but at the moment it will be a waste of money. Because later on we're going to make our own spells.
Looking for something in particular?
Water walking. That's useful. Let's take that. This open door spell can open a middle difficulty lock. That's very useful. Levitation. That's great. Swift swim. We should probably take that as well. How about you, lady? Do you have any good spells for us? I cannot think with all these interruptions. Please leave me alone. Okay. Let's see, resist Magicka, we want that. Because that will be very useful for a trick we want to do soon. That's a very cheap heal spell, so we'll take that because we could level up with that. Cure common disease on other. I believe we do want that at one point in the game, so let's take that. I believe it is actually like a single quest in the game that requires you to either have a potion or a spell that can heal disease. There are 2 magic spells that we definitely want to grab, so we want to do that as soon as possible. First off, let's head to the Fighters Guild and join them. See,
Care
where
to
is the
tell me
lady?
what this is about?
There she is. Hi.
Don't press your luck. You're on your honor.
Let's join the Fighters Guild. You look like you could take care of yourself. Before I sign you up, you might want to look at the Fighters Guild Charter. What is it? Your duties are to your lord and brethren in all ways. Proceed with honour and valour. Keep a keen and watchful mind, and never succumb to the craven tricks of the weak. I don't really understand what any of that means. I think she's saying not to sneak and stuff, but none of that is actually a part of the rule set. She's just basically venting, I think, about other members. As a member, you are permitted to use items in your equipment chest. It is traitorous to fight or thieve from other members of a guild. That's always a shame. If you break these rules, you have to speak to people. You are now Ragvi Associate of the Fighters Guild. Advance. Not allowed yet. Give us orders. I have a very simple contract to end an infestation of cave rats. Go to Drayrain Fellis' house. It's here in Balmora along the river on the east side. Ask her where the rats are coming from, kill the rats and get your payment. Sounds easy.
What is it, Bosmer?
Oh yes, of course. People will either call us a Wood Elf or Bosmer, because Bosmer is another name for Wood Elf. Now these are good potions. Healing potions. We're going to take a lot of those. And we're over encumbered. I guess we will drop this belt. You can have that belt. Take it. Now then, we should really go and free up some inventory space. So if we jump everywhere we go like this, we will level up our acrobatics skill. While talking about leveling up, I should probably mention how leveling up works in this game. So as you can see, we have 2 points towards our current level up. That's because we have leveled up one of our major or minor skills 2 times. I believe it was acrobatics, it might have been. No, it wasn't acrobatics, it was athletics and longblade. And you can also see next to them, you can see the governing attribute is strength and speed. So when we level up, if we level up something like athletics 10 times, then we can get a 5 times bonus to speed on our next level up. So then we can put speed up to 55 when we level up. But at the moment, if we were to level up without putting any extra into it, we would only be able to level up to 51. So when we level up, we ideally want to focus on 2 attributes at a time and then also level up our luck. So we would ideally want to level up some other speed and strength abilities up to 10 times, and then we want to level up. So we'll think about doing that. Acrobatics currently governs strength, so we shouldn't really focus on leveling that up yet. Our other speed and strength ability... Actually, of course we should, because it's another strength ability. I'm an idiot. So we could do things like leveling up Armourer from a trainer, which will be really cheap because it's only currently level 5, and that would also work towards the points we need. Hi. I'm hoping that they respond before I have to do something, but sometimes they can take a while. So let's just sell some of this armour we're never going to use. I'm keeping hold of this brandy because I believe there was a quest that wants brandy. Don't really need that. We're going to keep our restore health and mana potions. And now let's just sell some other stuff we don't really want. That fishing pole, we should probably sell it, but I'll just shove it in our house instead because it's kind of a unique item.
Is there something I can do for you?
Man, you look about as bad as I do right now with that mess. We could steal some stuff here from her, but there's really no point since she is our main vendor at the moment, so if we were to steal her stuff it would just make it harder to sell to her. Oh yes, I should also mention as well, with levelling up, if we level up a miscellaneous skill it will not count towards our current level up goal. It only counts major and minor skills in them. In this corner of the room I just want to put down our fishing pole. There we go, in case you ever want to go fishing. So then, in this introductory part I want to also join the temple while we're here, because the temple has two incredibly useful abilities we want to buy. They may also have more, but the two magic spells we want I know are definitely in this temple. And I think we can still afford them. We have almost 1,000 gold, that should be enough. I should probably remember to keep my phone next to me so I can see how long I've been recording for. Because ideally I would like these things to be about an hour or two long. Seems like a decent enough time for this game. It's a very long game, so those types of parts, lengths work. You are not the person we wanted. Neither do you have any spells to sell us. We are looking for that person who mentioned joining the guild. Or joining the temple, rather. You don't have anything. We won't steal anything while we're here because it would be kind of sacrilegious to steal from the dead, since this is effectively a crypt. And I mean, we are a thief, but you know, we have our standards. We will steal from crypts out in the wilderness though, because that stuff won't count as stolen. Which means it's free game.
No,
Ooh.
I don't think so.
This person has Hallu in their name, so they must be a member of House Hallu. And we can buy spells from her. Which includes Recall and... She doesn't have Mark. Okay, I thought she would have Mark as well, but she doesn't. Let's see, Restore... No, I don't want any of those things she has. We are looking for someone who has Mark as well, because Mark and Recall are two of the best spells in this game. You have Mark. Excellent. So we spent most of our money now, but it's all important. Can I ask you about the temple again? Who are we supposed to talk to? He doesn't tell us, but he does allow us to ask about these 3 different gods. Like loving ancestors, the tribunal guards and counsels us. Like stern parents, they punish our sins and errors. Like generous relatives, they share their bounty among the greatest and least. Tell us about ancestors. The oldest of our ancestral spirits we call the Deirdre, or the Daedra rather. They are powerful and cunning. Their hearts and minds have grown distant and strange, and the bad Daedra are dangerous. The rebel Daedra, the dark Daedra. Molag Bal, Malakath, Sheogorath, he's the best. Mehrunes Dagon, in their arrogance and pride, refuse to keep faith with the tribunal. We call these bad Daedra the 4 corners of a house of troubles, and they continue to tempt the unwary into heresy and dark worship. So, obviously this guy says that there are good Daedra as well as bad Daedra. Previously we were told when we asked about rumours and the like, that all Daedra were bad, but clearly these tribunal people think that they're actually quite good. The Daedra are our ancestors. Before the tribunal, we worshipped the Daedra as gods, but they didn't deserve it, since they harmed us as often as they helped us. When they became gods, the tribunal became our protectors and high ancestral spirits. The good Daedra became loyal friends of the tribunal, but the bad Daedra remained foul and treacherous. So apparently, the tribunal, these three gods, Almalexia, Sophasil, and Vivek, didn't used to be gods. So that's an important thing we've just heard. Let's ask about the good Daedra. Boethia, Nephela, and Azura are loyal friends of the tribunal. These Daedra are the good Daedra. They we call the Anticipations. Okay. Now tell us about Almalexia. Almalexia is Healing Mother, the source of compassion and sympathy, the protector of the poor and the weak. Tell us about Sophasil. Companion and teacher of Nerevar and Vivek, Sophasil is the light of knowledge and the inspiration of craft and sorcery. Tell us about Vivek. Lord Vivek is a lover of both words and deeds, and a master of weapons and poetry. So these tribunal gods sound like pretty decent guys. We'll see what we can do with them later. For now, we need to find the person who's meant to allow us to join this group. I may have just completely missed them. I should stop jumping. Actually, no, I should keep jumping. I forgot it. It affects strength and not agility, doesn't it, in this game? So we're going to jump everywhere to try and level up our acrobatics, so we can jump higher, and we can get a bonus to strength later. Hi. I can't even talk to you about the temple. You look special. Maybe you will allow us to join. Yes, here we go. Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple? You have a promising look. Perhaps we could use you. Do you wish to join? Would you like to hear the doctrine? Always a good idea. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring lustre to the temple. Never transgress against your brothers and sisters in thought or deed, as we are all one body. If you somehow fail to uphold these ideals, you must speak with the master of the patriarch to be cleansed of your wrongdoings. I am worthy. You are now a layman in the temple. Welcome, Sister Rag. I am one of the several masters you can go to get duties, and if you perform well, advancement. Before I give you your other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimage to the 7 Graces. Tell us about the 7 Graces. Take this book, The Pilgrim's Path. It describes where the pilgrim sites are. After you have completed these pilgrimages, speak with me again. I should warn you that while most of these are easy, the pilgrimages of Goat Gate and Mud and the Ruddy Man are more difficult, and you may wish to do those last. So we'll be doing these pilgrimages in a later part, because they do take a lot of time. Also, we can interact with these shrines of the tribunal, make a donation of 5 coins, and we can get a lot of different abilities. Let's get Lady's Grace from Almalexia. Let's see what that does. Endurance fortified by 5 points. I'm not sure how long those last for because I never usually use them. So we've pretty much done everything I meant to do in this part. We've joined different factions, we have got ourselves some decent amount of money. Oh yes, I should show you how marked recall works before we finish. There is a reason why I bought the mark and recall spells. And that is because it is the most useful way to travel in the entire game. There is no better way to travel. Oh yes, while we're here we should also see if we could join House Hallow as well. I believe they're up here. I think this is House Hallow, isn't it? Yes, this is House Hallow. They don't close ever in this game, like there are no opening and closing times.
I'm waiting.
Hi. I keep business going here in Balmora. How is business? If you want to talk business, you come to the right place. Do you want to join? Sure, but first tell us about the councillors. Here's a recent edition of the Yellow Book of the Great House Hallow. It lists the current people. I might tell you more for a small consideration. Go on then. The one you should speak with is Greyus Curio. His manor is in the Hallow Plaza in Vivek. or of the Halu councillors, he is most likely to listen to your requests. Sounds good. He's very eccentric, but his weaknesses allow him to be manipulated. That's all we needed to hear. How about joining House Halu? Yes, you're a worthy candidate, and we accept anyone who wants to join. Even outlanders. Are you willing to join? Sure thing. You are now a member of House Halu. When you're ready, we can discuss business and advancement. How about advancement? No one doubts your ability to handle business, but you simply don't have enough experience yet. Tell us about business. Just a minute, Rag. Say that again. Oh. How fortunate! Your voice sounds almost like Rodran Velmir Sarum, who died, just recently. Would you be willing to disguise yourself as this person and get orders from House Rodran and deliver them to me? Sure thing. Good. Take this helm and speak with Narima in the Rodran Council. Take a silk strider to Aldrune, then look under the scar. When she asks what you want, say you are an orphan of Arnesia, and she should give us a coded message to deliver. My voice is my ability to read is kind of dying at the moment, so I think this is probably a good time to quit, which is what we were planning to do anyway. Because I need a drink.
I know you.
I don't think you do. Would you like to... How would you like to come back to my place? You prefer not to. That's a shame. Now then, where are we? We need to go down here. Let's see if we can jump up here. No, I think we lack the ability to jump up there. Okay. Yeah, our jumping and movement speed really is hindered at this point in the game. Now then, for the time being, we want to go in here. And this will take a while, so I'm going to just quick save it and quick load it, just so I can show you what we're doing. Let's put Mark. Now, if you look at this, it says that it will cost 18 mana, and there's a 2% success chance, I think that means. So we could be here a while.
Yes, Outlander, what do you want?
Let's try loading the game.
Is there something you need?
Okay, this will take ages, so I'll do it off screen and have it done by the next part, but basically, what Mark and Recall does is we mark this current position, and then when we cast the Recall spell, which is this one, no matter where we are in the entire game, with only a few exceptions, we will immediately teleport to this exact spot, and we can sell to her. So we can do that to take home lots and lots of loot from a dungeon. So that's why Mark and Recall is the best. We have another teleport spell as well, which is this one right here. There is a 0% chance of successfully casting this. I think we need to work on our mysticism skill a little bit. And that one, the Alsavi intervention, will immediately take us to the nearest temple, like this. So if we were, like, in Seyda Neen, for example, we might teleport up here, or we might teleport down to Vivek. If we're, like, around here, we'll teleport to Balmora. If we're more around here, we might teleport to this area instead, or to Aldrune over here. So it just takes you to the nearest temple, which is very useful just to get somewhere you want to get to quickly. So, right now, we've got a little bit of money to our name. We've got some gear. We've got this helm here, which we'll put back on, just to look really ugly. And we got 7 armor rating and a good sword. And we've joined several different factions, which we can see down here. We are a toad in the Thieves Guild, we're a layman in the Temple, we're a hireling in Great House Halu, we are an associate of the Fighters Guild, we're a novice in the Blade, and we are an associate of the Mages Guild. We currently have 0 fame. The more quests we do in the game, the higher our reputation will go. And we have no bounty because we haven't been caught doing any crimes. So let's go to our bed upstairs because we are out of mana at the moment. And for the next part, we will wake up, maybe get attacked by an assassin, which would be good. And we will continue doing some quests for the other factions. So until then, be lovely to each other.